right, guys, how's it going? This is live, and actually, let me connect the Instagram live as well. I'm going to get in the zone here. All right. So I'm also connecting this online in Instagram as well. So going to be doing this Ask BMAC live stream thing that's going on right now, and something that I'm hoping that I can do recurring. So a lot of people were asking, what can I do to keep things on schedule? So as you can see, I put together that you probably saw this picture that I just threw out this morning, and it's a schedule that I'm looking to stick to 2 p.m. I'm trying to keep it quick, easy, maybe around 30 minutes or so. So I'm looking to keep it around 30 minutes and then just kind of go from there. But what I'm willing to do is even share my screen, have things that are going on from here, so we could see, things will be working from here, and we'll be able to do a lot of great stuff. So this is now going live. People have been asking a lot of questions, and one of the things that I wanted to clear up, because this was actually very interesting. Yesterday, if you guys saw, and I'm actually looking at my screen right now, let me pull this up in my screen. So 1 second here. And let me pull myself in the screen view as well. Oh, here we go, screen share. One second. So this is the first live stream. I'm actually getting things set up here, but taking questions and a lot of stuff. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Looking forward to, and actually that's a great shout out that I want to talk about here is actually the summit that's coming up, the Work from Home Summit, which is going to be pretty awesome. So let me add this to the mix here. Give me 1 second while I'm trying to add my video here. I'm not in the video at all, which is unfortunate. So let me do. Okay, I'm going to do something really quick here. Because I did prove that I did prove this out, and I'm trying to enable my my video, but it's actually not working. So I apologize for this. The beginning of the initial live sessions here. This is really great. So let me pull up my screen. Just give me a second. Awesome. I did it. All right. Okay. Getting past some technical difficulties because I actually wanted to share my screen in the process here. So one of the things that I wanted to actually do, and I'll just say hello to everybody that's out there. Drop your questions in, and we're going to kick things off. But let me, now that I got my screen share and now that I got the video going, this is actually really awesome stuff. So one of the things that we talked about yesterday, which I'm going to bring this over here, which is called the Work From Home Summit. And this is an event that's coming up next week, April 23rd and 24th. I'll be speaking at that event as well. But it's something that you want to look at to participate in. It's going to be really great. A lot of great free information, stuff like that. Stuff where you can also get exposure to a lot of different opportunities. We talked about it yesterday, Paul and I, and it's really great stuff. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, which was the stuff that I released on YouTube. So this here, youtube.com/techmoneytalks. I'm pulling it up. And so I did a video right here that I wanted to share, and it was related to stop using the AliExpress. So this one right here, which was this one right here where I said stop using AliExpress. So what had happened and what I figured out was that the Rakuten, so there's a Chrome plugin where Rakuten you can actually get like 2.75% back on transactions I was going through. So in actually fulfilling the orders, this was actually blocking the US shipping option when doing the fulfillment through there. So in finding that out, but trying to react quickly, this was like actually a live stream that was going through, and it was something that we did here. So in this case, it was a false alarm, and it's something that it was kind of like a real shocker on my end, but total false alarm and a real bust on my end. So it's a real shocker, and that's all I can say for there is that. Okay, I made a mistake, and it was actually right there. So, but I mean, I would say it's real good to be early. So I'm trying to be as responsive as I can. I mean, at this point, things are going through rapidly, and things are going through really rapidly, and somebody's asking for the link, so I'll drop in the YouTube link in here, um, which is youtube.com/techmoneytalks. That's where you can actually find more information. And but a lot of great questions have been coming in, and I think this is just the beginning of it. So whether if you're connecting on Instagram, and I see Andre, hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. So a lot of good feedback coming in. Keeping the podcast going, and but now we're gonna do things live, and even with the special guests, Melvin, how's it going? Even with the special guests that are coming on the show, we're even doing those live. So I would say stay tuned, whether if it's Facebook, whether if it's Periscope, and people still use Periscope, LinkedIn, YouTube, and there's multiple groups within Facebook that we've been live streaming to. So this right now is going to multiple platforms, and we're going to be doing things live because I think time to market, access to information, things are changing so fast. I mean, I don't know if you guys caught on before, and actually let me take a drink of my tea here. Really good. So if you guys didn't catch on before, that the podcast, the duration of the release, I would record, and then the podcast would be released about 3-4 weeks out. But now at this point, an episode that gets released, 3 or 4 weeks out, a lot's changed. I mean, when you think about it, a lot has changed over these past 3 to 4 weeks. And for a podcast back then, it's just not relevant. And that's what actually started me to do those release date intros, if you guys caught on to that. And hopefully that was helpful. And I think it was. A lot of people were saying, hey, I appreciate that, because it was really, trying to stay current and relevant with the times, because so much has changed over the past 4 weeks, and it's just an amazing thing. And I like how Myron Golden, I don't know if you guys caught the Myron Golden podcast. Man, he laid it out. I mean, he has a really great, business perspective, and, he shared a lot. And actually, I apologize here. Look at this. I need to bring the podcast mic. You guys can see on Instagram. I didn't realize. So this is a podcast arm, and this is live, folks. And you could tell I was like, scooping things together. So this is the podcast mic, and now you could probably hear me a lot better. I can even see in the audio, but it's an arm that I need to extend further. So if you guys are having trouble hearing me, is because the arm was put away way over there and I'm talking at a distance. So you guys probably could still hear me, but now I'll bring it closer so you guys can actually hear me here. But people have been asking about that too, right? So, podcast equipment, the mics and stuff like that. Getting a lot of the technical stuff together, it's not really that big of a deal. Connor Chapman, hey, how's it going, brother? Hey, we got to have a follow up on the podcast for sure. A lot of people have been asking about that for sure. But the equipment here. So, I mean, a lot of it's so you can hear me much better. Cool. That's awesome. All right, great. So in this case, with the podcast, Mike, I mean, all this equipment now. Anchor FM is actually sponsoring the podcast as well. That's a little kind of inside information. You probably hear, those clips, in the beginning of the episode, and even Spotify within the middle of the episode. And just to give you some background, as far as how the show started, it started almost 2 years ago now. It's surprising that 2 years have gone by. The first year was really all about talking about, the money making opportunities, all the money making opportunities that technology can bring. But then now, over the past year, focusing mostly on drop shipping and the opportunities here, things just really started taking off. So a lot of the people here, like I mentioned, Connor, absolutely crushing it. Paul Lipsky has been crushing it. So many others. I'd say over 50, $1 million producers in drop shipping that I interviewed, and they've all, shared secrets to their success, and they all have done it in their own way. I would say that's one key takeaway. If you listen to these podcasts, there's power in the patterns, right? And as you look into that, and Connor's been saying on fire, so that's good, man. Connor, thanks, brother. Actually, you're even welcome to join live if you want. And but there's power in the patterns, right? So you can see that everybody took, they learned off of others that have done it before them, and then they put together their own mashup. And if you've been following me, you can see that that's what I've done, because I've been doing things using, like I said, I've sold all kinds of things. Drop shipping is one way to make money online, but there's many ways. And if you go to that Work From Home Summit on the 23rd and the 24th, you're going to hear about all the different ways you can do it. And in talking about it, but taking that platform like ClickFunnels. So I think I actually even have this book behind me here. So Russell Brunson's book, right? And .com Secrets. I actually got all his books, but with that, I mean, he's been an internet marketer, like me since back in the day, but built this platform. So it's now a software as a service that's built by digital marketers, which is really awesome. So does that make sense? It's a software that's for digital marketers, built by digital marketers. And it's really powerful. And actually, one of the most powerful funnels, or most successful funnels on there, is related to a drop shipping story. It's that tactical flashlight is one of his biggest producing revenue funnels that have been through ClickFunnels, if you didn't know that. So, but long story short, one of the things to keep in mind is that, related to drop shipping, there's far too many people that think they're just in the business of selling products. When you only think you're in the business of selling products, that's unfortunate, because then the only way that you can make a better offer is by competing on price. And that's why you hear people talking about, oh, this product's saturated. And people say, oh, this is saturated, right? And what they mean is that, okay, there's so many people selling the product, and then for each person that's trying to get more sales, they're lowering the price. And it's a race to the bottom. And when people say it's saturated, it's like, okay, well, it's no longer profitable anymore, because everybody's dropped the price so low that it's not profitable. But what they don't realize is that there's still the consumers, the shoppers are still very much interested in it. So if you take your marketing hat, put that on, and you follow like some of the secrets and the patterns of what you could do with marketing with ClickFunnels. And what I've done is I've wrapped that around Shopify drop shipping. And now I'm a marketer, and I'm in the business of making irresistible offers. So if I can make a better offer for a product that still is at market value, what it should be sold for, instead of dropping it because people think it's saturated. I hold the value, but I make the offer better. Does that make sense? So if you know how to make an irresistible offer, and oh, this is awesome here. Who's that? Ant Man. Love the podcast. I listen damn near every day. Awesome, brother. Hey, I appreciate it, man. So hey, we're doing this, but making an irresistible offer is key. So when you can make a better offer, now you're getting sales, and I feel like it gives me a competitive advantage over most of like the traditional drop shippers that are out there that are just that just think they're in the business of selling products. It's really a mind game that you go on in there, and it's really really powerful stuff. But we got some great questions coming in here, and really really appreciate it. So we're streaming live on Instagram, on YouTube, Facebook, and so on. So you could check everything out. But like I said, I had to point that out on YouTube. Hey, thanks, Paul. I appreciate it, brother. We on YouTube, I had to make that correction because, like I said, that was a false alarm. But I think I would rather be safe than sorry, if that makes sense, right? So to act quickly because, the, like I said, things are changing so fast. Things are so unstable that I wanted to react right away. And if I thought that okay, AliExpress distribution is no longer uh, shipping products because you know in a matter of a day, borders are closing, things are being blocked, things are happening so fast, everybody's still on lockdown that you don't know what's going on. And could something realistically happen where okay, there's probably trade wars with China going on and all of a sudden they stop AliExpress shipping? That's what it seemed like because I had tested like 4 or 5 different suppliers that said that they were US shipping, and all of a sudden they said it's no longer shipping. I mean, that's literally the words that it said, that is no longer shipping to there. So I actually, when I first saw that, dropped a note to our insiders group to let them know. But then I was just like, man, I think there's a lot of other people that, everybody's been following the advice of, they've been following the advice of, working with US shipping options, which is important because you want your customer to get the products in 4 to 7 days. But seeing that it may have already, that have been cut off was alarming to me. But long story short, like I said, it was a false alarm, and it was something that I corrected. But I would say it's better to be safe than sorry. Better to get the information early than to not. Because even at my point, I actually had stopped my ads till I figured it out because I didn't want to have more customers that I had to figure out how am I going to get them their products, which is really important here. But a lot of stuff here. Another person's asking about Kevin Zhang. Yeah, actually, we got an episode that's coming out with Kevin Zhang as well. And actually, I still, if you're watching on the live stream on one of the platforms like YouTube and stuff, I think there's actually a live stream video with Kevin Zhang. He was basically one of the first that we did the live stream podcast interview. So you saw us actually going through the setup, getting set up, and then actually doing the podcast in the middle of while we're recording. And I think it came out really good. I think I was still kind of mixed up on the audio, so almost the same way that I was trying to figure out this podcast. I didn't realize the audio was here and different things like that. And then yesterday with Paul, did the same thing with theirs. So those type of things are going to be coming out because I think, like I said, the podcast goes through editing, and we want to clean it up, get it edited, make sure that it's all seamless, so that for those listening, and it used to be the days those listening commuting to work or commuting wherever that they're consuming the podcast or working out, that sort of thing. But wanted to make it sound seamless, and the release date, and based on the number of interviews, it would be about 3 to 4 weeks out. We're going to speed that up so that it's more accessible to you. And there's a pipeline of interviews that are soon to come. And I've been keeping watch of the statistics and things like that. So definitely, the one with Paul's coming out. We're going to be talking a lot about the Work from Home Summit. I'll share that on my screen again. Definitely check it out. I think a lot of heavy hitters on there. And then for uh, myself, like I said, with Kevin, there's an episode with Kevin coming out, and so many others. So things are in the works for sure, and just a really really great thing. Now, somebody was asking, is drop shipping dead? And the answer is no, and it hasn't been. So drop shipping's actually been around since the dot com boom. And if you're not old enough to realize what the dot com boom was, basically it's like the beginning of Amazon, the beginning of Google and all these startups that, all these websites that started forming and e-commerce started forming. Drop shipping's been around since then. And there's actually, one good tip that I could share with you guys. And it's kind of an insider tip, but I think it's worth pulling up here. So I'm going to pull it up on my screen. And if you guys are watching the live stream here, this is something that most people don't know about, even professional drop shippers, because there's a lot of people that, they've been crushing it with AliExpress and Shopify drop shipping. But the younger ones think that dropshipping's only been around since Shopify started, but that's not the case. It's been around for a long time, and you can see here on the website the directory for 20 years. So 20 years back is about the beginning of the dot-com boom, that kind of stuff. And Worldwide Brands was the first major platform. It was a directory. So back then we had like internet directories, and in these internet directories, this is where they would certify the suppliers. So there's a lot of questions that came in about wanting to find suppliers. This is a vetted out list and directory of not only suppliers but manufacturers, and not just companies that are overseas, but a lot of them are U.S. based companies. You have access to U.S. certified companies here that are willing to do drop shipping or light bulk, and you can find it in this directory here. A good number of them are not on AliExpress. So this is something that most people don't know about, and you can actually do order fulfillment with what's called the CSV method, which means instead of doing individual orders, you could actually submit a text file, a CSV file. It's a comma separated file like an Excel spreadsheet to fulfill your orders. But this thing here is a really great source. Like I said, 16 million certified wholesale products, a directory, all access, Better Business Bureau. Just, it's been a trusted source since way back then. And actually, I've connected with the original founder of Worldwide Brands, and I'm actually looking to connect with him to get him on the podcast to talk about, his perception of the evolution of dropshipping. Because this was catered towards dropshipping. You could see real dropshippers, real wholesalers, and it's been done since way back then. So most people don't know about this, but that's a good value-added tip to you. Stuff that I share within our insiders group, and it's something that's really, really powerful. And that's something that started new as well. Let me actually pull that up. I keep referencing the insiders group. This is something that's new that I started, which is the free access. So 7 days free access. You can see myself there talking about it, but also the stuff that's a part of the membership group. This is something that I do for our insiders members. So we do these type of live stream sessions, but we've been doing them with Zoom, but we also stream it to the Facebook group as well. And then, here's just even one key factor, which is finding winning products. What to sell, right? People don't even know what to sell. Okay, you're excited about drop shipping, but what are you supposed to sell? We have workshops within here where it's just a whole session, and there's free ways to find winning products, but there's also paid ways. And there's so many different tools. So I have that. So you're able to leverage off of the same tools that I'm using. And we're doing this together as a group, which is really awesome. We do that on a weekly basis. And it's important because a lot of things have changed over these past 3 weeks. Like there's trends and there's hot selling products now. Somebody's saying is dropship finally dead? It's not. I mean, it's exploding. So people are asking, is dropshipping dead? And I'm telling you, more people are shopping online now than ever before. It's amazing. Like last year, like I was surprised last year, like before Christmas time, and I talked about it where, I was surprised that Toys R Us had closed down. You know, it was the first Christmas where, being able to physically go to the store, it's closed. And that was shocking. It was because buying habits were already shifting. People are already buying on their phone or buying online. Uh, most people are doing that. But now, we're still in the middle of the coronavirus and everything that's going on. States are locked down. Everybody's staying at home. More people, the mass number of people are now forced to buy online because they don't want to go to the store anymore. So what does that mean? And now when everybody's home, there's a whole new set of problems to solve. Everybody's working at home, everybody's stuck at home. What are the type of products and what are the pain points that people need to fill because they're now at home very often? And there's a whole bunch of products to fill that need. So you are a solution finder, a problem solver. And if you're, hopefully one of the first to market to pick up on these trends, then you're able to serve the customers better. So right now, drop shipping is, very much alive and very much a big opportunity right now. So if you haven't been plugged in the past, it's really good time that you're listening right now because I'd say it's an opportunity. It's a way to make either whether if it's a side income or whether if it's something that you'd like to shift into to be able to do full time. Because through this program and especially the stuff that I teach, like you can see here with ClickFunnels, here's me and Russell Brunson. Insider access, stuff I've been working with this stuff for a very long time. But taking these type of products and making irresistible offers on it, it could take an average product and with the power of ClickFunnels and the way it sells and the increasing the average order value, it's really easy to turn it into $1,000 day that's selling. And that's the power of it. So something that had like a trickle of results with just regular Shopify drop shipping, but you start to use the power of ClickFunnels wrapped around it, this thing really works. And being plugged into ClickFunnels, this type of integration it opened up and it was available maybe a little bit over a year ago, but still technically not that many people used it. I was even at the Funnel Hacking Live event, and there was already $1 million producers that were drop shipping $1 million producers. They weren't using ClickFunnels to do it, but they wanted to, as they heard me talking about it as well. So it's about trying to find out what's that next opportunity, what's that next mashup that's now going to give you the competitive edge, right? That's the stuff that you should be looking for. So this right here, so this kind of stuff, it's a free trial that I opened up. But these live Ask BMAC is not about making the pitch offers, but I do want to let you know that because of everything and people have been interested, you can get access to it for 7 days to see if it's worth it, because you'll be able to plug in to an insider's live session, not just kind of public information that you always see on YouTube and things like that. So really great stuff. This is the first Tech Money Talks live stream. I'm going to be gathering more questions, and we'll be more question centric for the most part, but I'll also give you like an update as far as what's happening within e-commerce and what's happening within drop shipping and anything else that you guys are curious about. So whether if it's the podcast or whether if it's other featured guests that have been on the podcast, you'll get a chance to get, some insight as to what's happening there. So people have asked about Paul, people asked about Kevin Zhang. Those are two podcasts that are coming out soon, and there's major events that are happening right now. So, like I said, just to close it out, the Work from Home Summit is going to be going on April 23rd, 24th, and I'll scroll through. You'll see the list of speakers. Paul just lined it up quickly, and we got a podcast that's coming out talking about the whole thing here. And like I said, I'm going to be talking about what can lead to $1,000 days and the 3 secrets on how to do it. All value that's going to be added there for sure. So I'm going to stop the live stream here and shut it down, but hopefully this is available. And so many people were asking, can you give me a heads up? Let me know, give me a heads up. And I was just like, yeah, but there's so many things going on. And then I finally buckled down, worked together with my team, and we got on the board and said, all right, let's come up with the plan, Gary Vee style, Pat Flynn style, Russell Brunson style. Like, let's come up with a plan and let's do this live stream. And we came up with, Tech Money Talks Live. And you can ask BMAC, because for those who kind of know me on a closer level, they always call me out on BMAC in the gym and things like that. So this is the first of many. So stay tuned, plug in, submit your questions. And then next week, so it'll be Monday, every weekday, we're going to do this 2 p.m. It's Central for me. So 2 p.m. Central. It's actually around my coffee time, but right now I'm drinking tea. But really good stuff. So I'm glad that you stuck through here. I'm gonna try to keep it. I'm gonna try to keep this around 30 minutes or so. But there's no hard end date. But I'm gonna try to keep it around then, so you guys can get back to your day, and I need to get back to mine because there's so many things that I'm working on right now. Like I said, time to market is really important. But a way to connect with me further, got YouTube, Tech Money Talks on YouTube, the podcast, and then I'd say check it out. The Insiders Group, 7 days for free. If it works for you, great, plug in. If it doesn't, then it's no big deal. All right, guys, peace.